Okay, guys, so hello everybody. This will be the session after the introduction yesterday. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, all right, great. So, after just an introduction yesterday, we'll be continuing with our series, and today we'll start off with the. Actually, we just had a brief intro yesterday about the simple equation, so we'll continue that forward. And anybody having any doubt till yesterday, whatever we had gone through? No doubts?
So just in the infinite solution one,
Fine. Yeah.
yeah, उसमें the like the formula would be A1 upon A2 is equal to B1 upon B2 is equal to
Equal
C1
to
upon
C1
C2.
upon C2, yes.
So we can do that na A1 upon A2 is equal to C1 upon C2.
Yeah, we can do that part too.
Okay, that's
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
Anybody else, any doubts?
One doubt, Kesari.
Yeah,
So yesterday we got it as a quadratic equation. I mean,
yeah.
if we see now, let's take if the power increases, then uh, I mean the time invested on that will be increasing, right? You know, if it's
Yeah,
like a 3 power or 4 power. So in
yeah,
that case,
yeah.
how to follow that?
Okay, one thing. How many equations can you get from a simple equation? You at max you can get a cubic. See, as you had seen yesterday, it was A1 by A2 is equal to P1 by P2, right? Or not equal to. I mean, depending on the question, it will be either equal to or not equal to, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you won't be given such a sum wherein you will get more than power 2. I
Okay.
mean, if you have more than power 2, it will definitely be in the tough category question, or else there might be some trick where the question might be very easy. As in, it you might get the answer as x cube is equal to 27.
Oh, right. I get it.
So something on similar lines. You won't be given that difficult part.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anything? So we good to go? Okay. So if there's nothing, I guess all right. We'll start with the session then. Okay, guys. So this will be our part wherein we'll start. And initially, just going through what we had gone, I'll just do add one thing from what we had done yesterday, and that would be what would be the basic of equations. So, like we had seen yesterday, so what happens is uh, ax plus by is equal to c. This is a basic equation. So x and y would be your variables, and a, b, and c would be your numbers, wherein a will be the coefficient of x, b will be the coefficient of y, and c will be the constant of the equation. I mean, this would be your basic definition. I just wanted to get this part cleared because sometimes you might be asked questions on this. And the thumb rule is whenever I am given an equation and it contains two variables, I need at least two equations to solve the question and get an answer. If I have something less than that, I cannot get to an exact solution. As we had seen yesterday in the lines, if I just have one line and I have to determine a point where in it interacts with some other line, since I don't have any other line, obviously I won't be able to find the point of interaction, right? So same goes with this. You will require at least two equations. If I am given three equations, three variable would be required. So yeah, that would be the thumb rule. The number of variables should be at least to the number of equations. If you have more number of variables, definitely you cannot solve it. So that would be the basic part. Now getting that part clear, let's move forward. So yeah, then again, coming to the basic rule, I first will be giving you the question and 2 minutes to solve it. And yet again, you will have to answer privately to me, no direct answers. So yeah, start. It's 7:37. I will end up in 7:39 for this question. Sure, Spandana, I will explain it step by step. I just need first you, all of you to just invest 2 minutes in it. Of course, I will be solving every question step by step. You don't need to worry about that. And I will show you two methods. One would be the standard method. One would be your, yeah, a better method. I would say like, it would say 10-15 seconds at max, like yesterday. Okay, so I can see till now 3 answers. Okay, so time's up, guys, and I will solve it. But first,
I am not able to find you. Yeah, not able to reply privately.
okay, okay. No, yeah, I'm using a different handle than yesterday.
Okay, name.
Subhash,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Okay, Aswik, I got your answer. Anshula, same, I think even you might have faced the same issue since you could not privately reply to me. Yeah, great,
Oh,
great.
yes.
Yeah. So, Manideep, you would be the first one randomly selected. What approach did you use?
Hi, Kesri.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used the standard approach
Okay,
where I took 100 grams of weights as X and 500 grams as Y, and
okay.
I found X plus Y equal to 20.
Mm-hmm.
And by taking 100 as common and
All right.
by
I got your approach.
substituting,
Got your approach.
yeah.
Thank you. Anshula, what did you use?
Casely, I use that what we do in class 10. Same.
Okay, the standard approach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
By using elimination method.
Sure. No worries. Aditya, I see you had replied very quickly, almost less than a minute or almost 30 seconds. What approach did you use?
I just formed two equations with the given information. So it was just simple logic. 15 pieces of one weight and 5 pieces of one weight. So I came on the conclusion.
Okay. All right. Great, guys. Okay, so first I will show you two approaches. One would be the typical approach, second standard, and you can decide which one you wish to use. Okay, so here goes the approaches. As according to the question, I hope everybody has read the question. Okay, so according to the question, the shopkeeper has some 100-gram weights and some 500-gram weights. Total number of weights are 20 and total weight is 8 kgs, right? Okay, so let's take a scenario first. Let's do a scenario analysis. What if all 20 weights are 500 grams? What would be, and if we give 0 here and all 20 here, what would be the weight, the total weight? It would be 10 kgs. And what if all of them are 100 grams and not 500 grams? That would be 2 kgs, right? So this is the total scale we are operating in, and 8 kg is somewhere here. Now can you see the scale and the method? Yesterday, the first question, I had used almost a similar method. So we have to use quite something similar here too. Now, what will happen is 500 grams and 100 grams. So this I'm using 20 and this is 0. If I replace this and this, How much loss of weight I am taking? Anybody? In this scenario A and scenario B, what is the total loss of weight?
400.
400 grams. Perfectly. So this was 10 kg. This is 9.6 kg. And I have to reach 8 kg. So if by replacing 500 grams by 100 grams, I have a loss of 400 grams. Then to reach 8 kg, how many should I lose?
5 more.
5 more. So yeah, 4 more, total would be 5. So the number of total boxes of 500 gram weights and 100 gram weights, what would be the number then? 15 of 500 and 5 of 100. Yeah, everybody?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Did everybody understand it? Please type in the chat box so that I can understand if you have or if you haven't. Okay. Okay, sure, Pradit, I will repeat it. Okay, yeah, Anshul, I will repeat it. Okay. All right. So let's first take all of the weights to be just 500 grams, no weight of 100 grams. What will be our weight? 500 grams, 20 boxes or 20 total units. That would be 10 kgs. This part is clear, everybody? Anshul and Prerit?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I replace one box of 500 by a one box of 100, total how much weight I am losing? 400 grams. This part is clear?
Hmm.
Okay. So if by losing one unit, one box of 500, I am totally losing 400 grams. So basically from reaching from 10 kg to 8 kg, how much will I have to lose? I will have to lose in total 5 boxes. Got this part clear? Ten kg to, if I lose one, it will be 9.6. If I lose two, it will be 9.2. If I lose the third one, it will become 8.8. If I lose the fourth one, it will become 8.4. If I lose the fifth one, it will be 8 kgs, which is our target weight. This part is clear, everybody? Those who had not understood it?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's it. I mean, if you can just understand this part, it won't take more than 10-15 seconds. You don't have to solve the equations. I don't care how many variables there are. Yeah, this is a question of your simple equations, but there are much more better methods to solve a question. Easier approach, I would say. This part is clear, everybody? Ready, Anshula?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now coming to your standard approach, I won't solve this one. I would just frame the equations because you guys already have solved it. What we had initially was, let the units of 100 grams be x and units of 500 grams be y. So that would be 100x plus 500y is equal to 8000, because you are using grams, not kgs. And the number of units of x and y is 20. So now you can use whatever approach you can like. Still, this would take much more time than the method we discussed just before. So both the methods are clear. No questions in them. Everybody, is it clear or not?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What we'll do is now we'll have an acronym of our own. Whenever I ask something, if it is clear, you will just type in CC in the box. That means crystal clear. So whenever I ask if it is clear or not, just a CC would do. All right. Okay.
Kesari, can't we use the substitution method?
You can use any method to solve this one.
Like what I tried was, I was just seeing like 500 grams in with 500 to weight 500 grams, it will take 5 pieces. So other 15 pieces would take 7,500 grams. So I eliminated C because 450 grams cannot be weighted with 100 grams. So like that.
Yeah, you can use elimination in this. There's no problem. The only thing is elimination in this question would take much more time. See,
Okay.
having a shortcut is good, but you need to know which shortcut or which method you have to use in which type of question. Even that
Okay.
is important.
Right.
So in this question, see, when will you use any when will you eliminate the options? Only when options have a connection between them. Like suppose A and B, they are two opposite roads. Obviously, if you're going on one road, you cannot walk on the other road.
Right. Right.
That's how elimination works. Now in this question, I cannot eliminate them because they don't have any connection with them.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now this is a paragraph type question and we have two questions and this is a bit difficult. I would first give you 2 minutes to solve the first question. Then I will share an important, I would say an important trick for solving any age related question. And this is moderate question, not an easy question. So I'll give you 3 minutes first, not 2 minutes. I will give you 3 minutes first. It's 7:49. I'll ask at 7:52. Yeah, go on. Just the first part and answer me privately. Sorry, Aditya, I didn't get you. What are you trying to say? 1 minute, guys. 1 minute more. Ashwik, your second part is wrong. – 30 seconds more, guys. Okay, guys. Time's up. So, Spandana, I see you had replied quite early and quite quickly as well. So, yeah, why don't you share what logic did you use?
I think I use the standard method only. Like
Okay.
I took x and y to be their current ages.
Okay.
So frame the equation like x minus 10 is equal to 35 plus 2 into
Okay.
1 minus 10. The equations part.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sure. All right, guys. There's one important trick I would say to crack any question related to age. So yeah, this would be it. So let's suppose there are two siblings, A and B. A is the older one, B is the younger one. Let's say A is 14, B is 10. Now what's the difference between them? It's 4 years. Now after, let's say 10 years, what will be the age of A? 24. And what will be the age of B? It will be 20. Will the difference remain same? Yes, it will. Some years ago also, like if I want to go 6 years into the past, what was 6 years before the age of A? It was 8. And what was 6 years before the age of him? It was 4. This part always remains constant. Always.
Kesari, sorry to interrupt. So while you were, explaining on the paper, it's not seen actually on the screen. There's a delay between the time you're writing and the time it is displayed. So it's a little confusing. That happened for the previous sum also actually.
Okay, okay, all right, all right. Thanks for telling me because I don't find a delay from this part. Maybe all right.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'll
I
try
guess
to
there's
adjust
no
it.
delay also. I mean, I don't know, but I'm not facing any delay.
Okay, okay. It happens. It happens. Network issues. Don't worry. I'll go a bit slowly when writing something. Okay. We'll take care of that part. But did you guys understand what I was trying to explain? The difference of 4 years always remains constant. Is that this part clear? Okay, great, great, great. I see you have adopted the norm, CC. So this is the trick. Whenever you are solving any question related to age, you might generally be given scenarios. This one, second, and the third one. So yeah, this would be scenarios. Generally, you might be given 2 scenarios, or if the sum is tougher or more time consuming, you will be given 3 scenarios. The only trick that will get you to the answer to exploit is from each one of them, you can find an equation exploiting this, that the difference will always be the same, and using those equations you will get the answer. So that would be the trick we'll exploit. Okay, one thing guys, just a minute, hold on. I will share one more thing so that okay guys, while writing this, are you facing a lag? Are you still facing a lag here?
No, no, Kesari, no.
Okay, all right then. Then I guess it's the software's issue. Okay, okay, no worries there. Okay, so we'll go back to the question first. Okay, so what does the question say? 10 years ago, the age of man was 35 years, more than twice his son's age. So 10 years ago, the age of man, 35 years, more than twice his son's age. So let his son's age be X. So this is, one second. Let this be man, this be son. So 10 years ago, the age of man was 35 years, more than twice his son's age. So his son's age is X, and 10 years ago this is, so this is the scenario 10 years ago. age of man was 35 years more than twice his son's age. So 2x plus 35. This part is clear, everybody? Any doubts here till now? Okay, great. Now, after how many years will there be, the man would be twice his son's age? So after how many years will take a gap of y years? So what will happen here is this will be x plus y. Even this will be 2x plus 35 plus y. And now this is equal to 2 times this. That's the condition, right? This part is clear? Okay, Aditya, I will scroll up. This part is clear? Okay. Yeah, so that's it. Now you have to solve it. The only thing would be in both these scenarios, scenario 1 and scenario 2, the difference between them will be constant. Now try to solve and get the answer. And there's one trick which you guys might have missed because of how the question is. I'll tell you one thing that later after you solve the question first. Everybody, have you understood this part? Is it clear? I'm not getting a response from everybody. Okay, Aditya, I will explain again. Rest of you, I have only 3-4 responses. Guys, will have to be active. As I had said earlier yesterday, this needs to be an interactive class, even though it's an online one. Okay. Priya and Aditya, I'll explain it once again. No worries. Okay. All right. Okay. This is the man. This is son. Now, according to 10 years ago scenario, X is the age of the son and 2x plus 35 is age of a man. How 2x plus 35? Because he's 35 years older than twice the son's age. And in what scenario are we currently? We are in the scenario of 10 years ago. This part is clear? Priya and Aditya, this part is clear? Okay, all right. Now, coming to the question they have asked, after how many years will the father, I mean the man, would be twice the age of son? So let us assume that it would happen after y years. So what would happen after y years? Son's age would be x plus y, and the man's age would also increase by y, like we had seen in the previous example I had given of two siblings x and y. So this will become 2x plus 35 plus y. This part is clear again. Now, as per the given question, what condition do we have? This and this. This is twice of this. Apply this condition and exploit the condition that the difference here is equal to difference here. You will have two equations and you have two unknowns. You will solve and get the answer. Please try solving it. If you have any doubts, I will help you. As I had said, this is a medium question. So yeah, it will be time consuming initially, but don't worry. Once you crack this question of age, any question in the future regarding age won't trouble you at all. This is the best trick available for age questions. You can get as many questions of age. Even such questions come in DILR too, and even there we will be using the same tricks. Yeah, guys. So I think 1.5 minutes should be more than enough to solve this question. Be quick. Quick, I want the answers flowing, guys. And there's a trick in the question, so beware of that. The trick is, this is the trick. Don't miss this part. This shouldn't affect your answer. Okay, Anshula, I will get back to you. Guys, are you getting the value of y as the answer you are giving me? Aniket and Priya? Is that the value of y?
No, that's not the value of y, no?
No, whatever you're giving me, is that the value of y or are you giving me the answer?
The answer.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. I see you guys are getting it. Great. Great. Yes, Aditya. Great. Anshula, where did you get stuck?
Actually, I don't know how to solve it, and I'm getting y 35 in both the cases.
Yeah, so that's not the issue. Y will be 35. But you're not able to get y in the options. Is that your issue?
Maybe.
So you fell for the trap. Okay. Now, what are the first three words of the question?
Sorry.
What are the first three words of the question?
10 years ago.
Yeah. And what is the final line of the question?
Twice is after
No,
how
no.
many? No,
Yeah. After how many years?
from now.
From now. So you will have to subtract 10.
Okay. Okay, I
This
got
is the
it.
past. This is the present. And this is somewhere in the future. This is
Okay.
y. And this is 10. They are asking from present. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys, great. I see it. We are able to solve it properly. Now, the second part. This is a bit challenging. Okay, Ashvik, you want me to write the equations? You already got the answer, I suppose. Do you still want me to solve the equation?
No, I use some other approach that is not correct, so that's why I got it right. But that won't
These
work
are the
every time.
equations in front of you. 2x plus
Yeah, so it
35.
is like
I
2x plus
just
35 minus x is equal to 10, right?
no, that's not it. What happened to you? 2x plus 35 minus x is not 10. That is completely different. The difference is this minus this will be the same as this minus this. But here it has already been taken care of. The thing is,
Right.
this unit is twice of this unit. This is your first equation. And the second equation will be the difference. Like I had said, the difference remains constant.
Right. Got it.
Yeah. The second part of the question would be homework, guys. Because there's a trick in it, and that trick is something which I've already explained it to you. The only thing is the trick is in the question. Why the trick is in the question? Like you guys made a mistake because of this 10 years ago, comparing 35 and 25. There is something more which will confuse you, and I want this to be a homework question because some of the homework questions are like it to be challenging. So yeah, the first question you will answer me in the next lecture would be this question. If you have doubts regarding this, I will post the solution in the group. No need to worry about that part. It's not that once I say it is a homework question, that means I will not discuss it or you won't say. No, the answer is not 15. The answer is not 15, Priya. Yes, Manideep, your answer is right. Okay, so moving forward, this will be a homework question and I want everybody to get an answer. Moving forward, now let's solve an easy question for a change. And I give 2 minutes to you. It's 8:10. I will call you up at 8:12. Start. Okay, I've received one answer. I've received 2 answers. 1 minute remaining, guys. Again, there are 2 methods to this. For one, you need to be good at maths. For one, you need to be good with quantitative aptitude. Like I had discussed yesterday, this is not a maths paper. Depends on you. 4 answers. 2 are correct, 2 are incorrect. Your answer is correct now. Aniket, please check your answer. Guys, I would just give you a hint. There's 30 seconds left and this hint might get you the answer in 30 seconds. Take any example. You don't need to form equations for this. Take any example and apply this question on that example. You'll get your answer. I still received only 4 answers. Hurry up, guys. That's not even half of the class. Yes, 15 answers, right? 10 seconds, guys. No, Manideep. You are close, but your answer is wrong. Okay, guys, time's up, No, Aniket, still wrong. It's like you are very close to the answer, almost close, but no, Anshula, that's not the right answer. I won't go to the mathematical part of this question because that is, you will never solve using that question and that approach. Let's take an example. Okay, anybody suggest me any 3-digit number and share it publicly, not privately.
123.
Okay, 123. Okay, we'll take 123, no issues. Now what will be the opposite of 123? 321. Because what it says is the number formed by reversing its digits. So if reverse its digits, it becomes 321, right? Now 321 minus 123 is, what is 321 minus 123?
198.
198, perfect. And if I factorize 198, what do I get? I get 99 into 2, which can be done 9 into 11 into 2. Okay, anybody suggest me any other number? Any other 3-digit number apart from 120?
215.
Okay, 215. What is the opposite of 215?
512.
512. What is the difference?
297.
297. And what is the prime factor factorization of 297?
99 into, oh sorry,
3. 99 into 3.
yeah,
So are you looking any common number everywhere?
yeah.
Yeah, so that is the answer.
99.
Yeah, that is the answer, 99.
Oh, okay. You said greatest number. Oh, I got
Yeah,
it.
so 99 is the greatest number. This part is clear, guys? If I go into equations and solve this using equations, it will unnecessarily waste 3 minutes of me, which I do not want. Do you still want me to go to that part? Okay.
Yes, Kesari, once can you?
Okay, okay. You want the bigger part. All right, we'll go to that one. Sure. Okay, so let those digits be x, y, and z. Now, in you might have learned this in your early primary days of school. Any number will have a units digit, a tens digit, and a hundreds digit. So using that, if we represent a number, that would be 100x plus 10y plus z. And if I reverse the digits of x, y, and z, I will get z, y, and x, right? So the number would be 100z plus 10y. This part is clear? This is the initial
Yeah.
number. This is the final number after reversing. Now subtract these two. What do you get?
99 into x plus y plus z.
99 into?
X plus y
99,
plus z.
99
You
into
won't
x
get
plus z.
any y
X,
part. Yes,
x plus
it will
I
be
mean
x
x plus
minus
z.
z.
Sorry, my bad.
X minus
99
z.
into x minus z.
Yes, perfectly. X minus z. So what is the number that is left with you? 99? So
Yes.
this part is clear, guys? Or anybody wants me to explain it again? Hopefully this should be clear. This is not a tough sum. So whenever such a question comes in exam, just put the values. Don't go for these equations. Sometimes in exams, such equations might become cumbersome to handle. Just as I had said, this is not a maths exam. It's a quantitative aptitude. You need to be good with numbers. Okay, so moving on. A difficult looking easy problem, I would say. The cost of 4 apples, 6 bananas, and 8 oranges is P. The cost of 5 apples, 8 bananas, and 11 oranges is Q. And the cost of 8 apples, 14 bananas, and 20 oranges is R. Which of the following is always true? Like I said, a very difficult looking easy question. And hence I would consider it a moderate question because it is difficult to read and easy to solve. Okay, so Spanna is saying if we take all 3 digits to be same, like 333 or 999, 222, all numbers are same and the difference is 0, right? Yeah, the difference is 0. But I did not ask you the smallest number. I asked you the largest number that can divide the difference. The biggest word was important, Spanna. Okay. Yeah, guys. So use your variables, get your equations and solve it. I don't think there's anything to explain in this part. First, I would give you 2 minutes and to solve it, and I want the answers. Because this has no trick, trust me. In fact, this is the easiest question of this problem set. Anybody up with the answer? I still haven't got one. Okay, Aditya has one answer. We'll see, Aditya. I've got 2 answers. Come on, guys, hurry up. There's no trick in this. And in fact, yesterday, like some of you were saying, I'll just put the options and find the answer. This is the perfect question for that. Come on, guys. You can even substitute and get the answer. I've still received 2 answers. I need better performance from my class. And I've already written the answers. Okay, Aditya. You wish to change your answer, sure. Anshula, your answer is wrong. Sudeep, your answer is right. Yeah, Uttam, even your answer is right. Prerit, your answer is right. It still took a lot of time to you. It's okay. After all, the option was quite far enough. Yeah, Manideep, your answer is right. All right, guys. So what we'll do is the only thing that is left for this. Yeah, Priya answer is right too. So as you can see, I've written the equation on the screen here. So the only thing left is chalk out the options and you can see it. Now clearly, you can see in every option 3p and 4q is constant. Every option has 3p and 4q. Sometimes it might be negative 3p, sometimes positive 3p, sometimes negative 4q, sometimes positive 4q. So let's, and yet again, do you see any negative symbol in the equations formed on the screen? No, it is not there. That means if I multiply p and q by 3 or 4, it will give me quite a bigger value, which for r to match will yet again require a value bigger than 1. Are you agreeing with me, everybody? If I multiply p and q by a bigger number greater than 1 and there's no negative sign in 3p and 4q ka combination, for that combined value to be matched with r will require a multiple or a coefficient greater than 1. Does everybody agree with me? Okay. So by that logic, can I eliminate a? By that logic, I can clearly eliminate a, because 3p plus 4q cannot be matched by it. So I would eliminate this part. Now let's check, and everybody else it is clearly given. So let's check B now. Minus 3p and 4q, and for the sake of simplicity we'll just match the a part. Minus 3p will give me minus 12a, 4q will give me 20a. Adding this I get 8a, which is already in R. So had this been R, that would have become my answer. And lo and behold, I see there is already one option which is exact similar and that has R as the answer. You don't need to worry about B and the C part because that will already give you the same answer. The question is designed in such a way so that you don't do unnecessary time pass in the questions. The questions are set in such a manner, you don't need to worry about that. This part is clear, guys. How did we get D and how did we eliminate A? Okay. Great. If the options were much more easier, like similar to A, we had 2 more options, this question might have become even much more easy. Then I wouldn't even consider this as a moderate question. I'd consider it as an easy question. Like I said, there's no trick between this. Yeah, eliminating the option did help because that has become an habit of mine because I try to eliminate options, and so it will become yours too regularly. You don't need to worry about that. You'll get an hang of it. So this question is clear, guys. Anybody has any doubt? You can ask me now. I'll move to the next question. Okay, great. No, I see nobody has any doubt. Okay, I'll move forward to the next part. First, I think we should solve the related question. Yeah, this one. Many of you might be having your exams coming up or in some of the other forms. So let's solve an exam question. And this is quite similar to the previous question. The only thing is it is a, how I should say, a subjective question that appears in CAT. If you might have solved it, that's the theta question. Type in the answer. So yeah, no exploitation of options and eliminations of options is allowed here. So this I would consider is a moderate to occasionally difficult questions, because theta questions are rarely easy because you don't have the option. If theta questions might have come with the option, that then I would scale down their difficulty level, but this is a moderate question. So I would give you 3 minutes at max. Yeah.
Is it wrong answer 0 or wrong answer 1?
Sorry, acha. Okay. The wrong answer would be you are asking for the first part or second part?
First part. Each correct answer will give
So
5
carries
points.
5 points, 0 points, and 1 point respectively. So it would be each correct answer. Correct answer is 5, wrong answer is 0, and unanswered is 1.
Okay.
Hmm. Still, this is a moderate question, guys, because it involves 3 variables. Till now, we were facing 2 variables. This is 3 variable. That's why it is a moderate question. Otherwise, challenging looking easy question it is. Two more minutes, guys. Okay, we have one answer from Aditya. Hurry up, guys, 1 more minute. Like I said, by at max a minute, you should be either be able to identify this is solvable or not. So yeah, that boundary has been crossed. So either by now you should either get the answer, or if this was a test, you should have moved to the next question. You cannot put too much time stuck to a question. That is the biggest, I would say, takeaway that we will have from a few sessions, initial few sessions, identifying when your question is solvable and when is it not. Because trust me, whenever you have the first mock test, that would be important. A minute more, guys. Hurry up. You have, there's a trick in that you have to determine it. That's why it's a moderate question and not an easy one. For beginners, yeah, it might look like a tough question. Trust me, it is not that much tough. Okay, so Hill has an answer. 30 seconds more, guys. Prerit has an answer. Aniket has an answer. Okay. 4 people have given me 3 different answers. Let's see who gets it right. All right, guys, time's up. I see only 4 people. All right. Since it's a moderate question, I would accept this part for now. Okay, Prerit. So I see you had solved it. So why don't you share your logic, how you solved it?
Did you ask me?
Yeah, Prerit, I'm asking you.
So I made 3 equations.
Okay.
So first equation was 5x plus z is equal to the score.
Okay.
And the second equation was 4x minus y equal to 25.
Okay.
And the third equation is x plus y plus z is equal to 35.
Great.
And solving x plus y plus z equal to 35 and 4x minus y equal to 25, we get 5x plus z is equal to score, that was 60.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Aniket, did you use the same method?
I did a random thing.
Okay, how?
Like, I first of all take like the 6th question must be true for a score of 25.
Why 6 questions should be true? Okay.
Like that
6
6 into
fours are
6,
24.
24.
But we have to go to 25.
Yeah.
Acha, okay. Yeah,
So I
all right.
did
6 questions minimum.
7.
Well, it should be more than 6, but yeah, okay. I'll go with you.
What I did is seven questions and 3 questions that are wrong.
Okay.
So and then 25 questions that are unattempted.
Okay.
And on a note of that, I did it with 5.0 and 1 point.
Perfect, perfect. I like your approach. Great, great. You almost solved the way I would have solved this question. Great, great. Aditya, how did you solve it?
Yeah, same K3. So first what I did was, since I have to get a score of 25, so how would I maximize it by correct question? So I would multiply 4 with 7, so it would give me 28, and then I would subtract the number of questions which are wrong. And
Perfect.
so accordingly, I got that how many questions should be attempted of each type, and I multiplied it 5, 0, and 1, so I got the answer.
Okay, great, great, great. I see the approach we had used in the weights wala question. You are applying it here. Great, great. I see the good progress. Anybody who did not understand the method these two were discussing? Did everybody understand the method, or you want me to repeat it again? Sure, I will explain. Sure, I will explain it. No worries.
But even I got confused in that after that. That was like if we take 8 questions instead of 7 being right.
Yeah.
So it would be like 32 marks.
Okay.
And then 7 questions would be on wrong answer.
Okay.
And the rest remaining would be the unanswered one.
Okay.
So we can use that too.
Yeah. And what would you get the answer in that?
Oh, that I didn't try it.
Yeah. When you'll try it, you will see there's something you will show up. Okay, guys. So there's 2 methods for it. The 2 methods that we discussed. So first would be the standard one, and that would be like we had done in the weights wala question. So in the weights wala question, what we did is we thought the maximum times we can get towards the actual bigger number, and we started subtracting smaller number from it. We had 500 grams and 100 grams. Here it is almost the same. It's 4 and minus 1. So the approach we used here is quite same. So maximum we can get is 7 questions right. I mean, the minimum that we can get is the 7 questions right. So 7 fours would be 28. 3 would be the wrong part, and the rest of them would be 7 plus 3, 10, 35 questions. So 25 questions would be unanswered. So if we see the actual scenario of 5, 0 and 1 scoring, so by that this would be into 7, this it would be into 3, and this would be into 25. But that will get to 60 marks. This part is clear till now? I still see just 3-4 replies. Guys, I require replies from everybody. This is an important part. Okay. I see just 1 or 2 more replies left. Guys, I won't move forward if I don't have anybody. What did you not get in the question, Anshula?
Actually, Kesari, I really don't get what exactly we are going to find out and what exactly he's giving.
Okay. I'll explain the question once again. See,
Hmm.
there's an exam. There are 35 questions. Now, the marking scheme of the questions are that if you score it correctly, you get 5 marks for every right answer. If you give the wrong answer, you get 0 points for it. And if you do not attempt or do not answer it, you get 25 marks. This part is clear?
Sorry, the last one, what you say?
If I do not attempt the question, I get 1 marks for it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, this part is clear. Now, coming to the second scenario that is given, if we change the marking scheme from the initial one to the new marking scheme, in the new marking scheme it is said, if we do 4 marks for every correct answer, -1 for every wrong answer, and 0 marks for every unattempted question. I mean, you do not attempt the question, you will get 0 marks. In this marking scheme, the student gets 25 marks. This part is clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So naturally, now we compared the two scenarios and solved it. Now, what I'll do is first I'll do the standard approach. So X be the number of questions that we get right, Y be the number of questions that we get wrong, and Z be the number of questions that we do not attempt. So can I say X plus Y plus Z is equal to 35? This part is clear?
Yeah.
All right. So now according to the scenario number 1, this is scenario number 1. 5 times X plus 0 times Y plus 1 times Z should be the score that is required by us. That would be the answer. And according to this scenario, the second one, 4x minus y plus 0z is equal to 25. This part is clear? This part is clear, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if I add equation A and equation B, will I get equation C?
Yes.
That's the answer. What does these two add up to? Did you get it now, Anshula?
Yeah.
That's it. The only thing we were discussing is the shortcut method for that part. This first method is clear, guys, everybody? Everybody? Nothing left in this part? Okay. Okay. Second part, anybody has any doubt? Just type in a doubt in the second method. Only those who have not understood it, type in a doubt in the chat box. Okay. Prerit, what did you not understand?
How did we like calculated the points in second equations?
It is already given in the second equation. It is already given 4, -1 and 0. I'm not calculating anything.
No, like we have to find like the score. No.
Acha, see.
So the boundary method, how will you
Yeah. See. 25 marks you have to reach, right?
Yes.
If I answer just 6 questions correctly, can I get to the score of 25?
No.
No. If I answer 7 questions correctly, is it possible for me to get to the score 25?
Yes.
How?
7 4 yes.
7 questions right, 3 questions wrong, and I do not attempt any further question.
Yes.
7 4s are 28. 28 minus 3 would give me 25. And since I am not attempting any questions, and as per the new marking scheme, it's 0. So it will give me 25 marks.
Yes.
Yeah, so I got the distribution that would be 7, 3, and 25. And this is what I applied in the first scenario. And if you think other scenario will work, yeah, other scenario might work. But as we can verify from this part, only this scenario will give me the answer.
Yeah.
Everybody clear till now? Anshula, did you understand the second method too?
I found second one a quite
It
tactic
happens.
one.
You will get the hang of it. But did you understand it?
Yeah, but I found first one quite interesting.
Okay, sure, no worries. That's why I will have 1 or 2 methods every time so that whatever method comforts you, you can always use it. All right, guys, so we'll move forward. We have a question 7th and 8th. 7th is a bigger one, and we have 8th question that is related to it. So we'll discuss 7th, and like the previous question of age, wherein the second question was homework. Again, this will be the homework for you, because if you can solve the 7th, you can solve the 8th one too. Now I'll give you 2 minutes to solve this question, because this is not a tough one, and then I will discuss it. Yeah, so your time starts now. Guys, you can either solve this question or you can use substitution, directly substitute the options. Both the methods would closely take same time because this is a calculation intensive question. We'll see, Aditya. We'll see. We'll see, Manideep. One more minute, guys. Okay, I've got two different answers from 4 people. And Manideep, please reply privately when you are answering me.
Sure, Kesari, I forgot.
Yeah. Thirty seconds, guys. Okay, Aditya has changed his answer. Okay, Ashvik has one more answer. Anybody else with the answer? Okay, Priya has one answer, interestingly, which is a new one. We'll see, Ashvik, don't worry. Okay, so time's up, guys. This time I'll choose Aditya. You share your logic first. What did you use?
Yeah, Kesari, so what I did was, usually when these point kind of questions come and we have to reverse it, so I round it up.
Okay.
So first thing that I did was I rounded it up to 44. The first option A, I rounded it as 44. Since 44
Okay.
is again same, so I put it as 45 and then try doing it. So
Okay.
I wasn't getting the answer. So that way, I thought that maybe A is the answer, but then I realized that 43.25 is the greatest value among all the options. So I thought that better it's good to round down. So I took it as 43. When I took
Okay.
it as 43, I was getting that it was satisfying with 43. So I didn't go for B or C. My option remained D.
All right. Okay. Interesting approach. Next, Sudeep, what did you use?
Yeah, Kesari. Actually, if we see there is a difference of 9.5 kg when we reverse the digits.
Yes.
So I use that approach. Only option A satisfies according to that.
Okay. But that Is that the only thing we will have to see
Zero
in the?
point, yeah, weight difference between the pans is 0.25.
Yes.
The difference, I mean, if you calculate the difference, it is 9.5 times.
9.5
Uh,
more.
yeah,
Hmm. Okay, sorry, I didn't get you in the last part.
they were there is some calculation I did, so I found option A desirable, so I thought that was the.
Okay. Uttam, what did you do when you are getting the same option?
Yeah, actually, Kesari, I've solved the equations like putting those two cases. I've solved the equations. Then I'll obtain the final x minus y equal to 1. And the decimal point should be 0.25.
Okay.
So then after I've written like 10x plus y plus 0.25. So the y should since x minus y equal to 1, x should be always x should be greater than, I mean, x should be y plus 1. So that's why I've chosen 43.25.
But did you read the last line of the question? Cannot be the actual weight.
Okay.
You calculated everything, you did everything, and then at the final what you call clean bold. It's asking what cannot be the actual weight, and you're justifying the answer A as the answer.
Yeah.
So then what should be the answer? If A is the right answer, do you mean B and C are wrong answers? I want the value, not the answer. If A is the correct value of the weight, are B and C the wrong values of the weight? Anybody wants to shed some light?
Yeah, so Kesari, what I just made my conclusion by seeing the options is that the last option is given as more than one of the above. So he basically, maybe he's trying to indicate that we have to try to find out a maximum option. So when we are getting the answer at a certain limit, for example, 43.25, then it actually logically makes sense that it will satisfy for the lower values also.
Okay.
So that is the reason. And one more thing that we need to see over here is usually what happens is whenever the units digit is smaller than the tens digit. So at that point of time, when it reverses and we add it with 9.5, then the value obtained will be greater. So that kind of a logic also we can apply once.
See, there's two approaches like how Uttam had shared here initially was he used his equations, right? So yeah, in that way, if you do, you will definitely get the answer right. Basically 43.25 is the right answer. I mean, not to this question, to the value of the weight, that would be right because it does satisfy it. But the thing is, see, since when will you get the difference of 9 between two numbers and its reverse? When there's a difference of 1 between tens place and units place? Like 54 minus 45 is 9. 65 minus 56 is 9. So you can clearly see that 9.5 arises how? See, pan A and pan B. There's a pan A, there's a pan B. This is 0.5 kg. This is 0.75 kg. So if I transfer one weight from pan A to pan B, naturally its weight will be changed by 0.25 kgs. And when I transfer a weight from pan B to pan A, its weight will naturally change again by 0.25 kgs. So in one, there's an increase of 0.25. In one, there's a reduction of 0.25. Gradually, those 0.25, 0.25 add up to give me 0.5. And you can see this 9.5 here is nothing. This 0.5 is obtained from that. So clearly, I would say is the actual trick through this question is this: figuring out how you get this 0.5 and the 9. Now, like I was discussing before, when does a 2-digit number and its reverse give you a difference of 9? When the units digit and the tens digit is separated by just one, 54, 65, 78. This part is clear, guys? Guys, I require a response from everybody, please, because this is an important part.
Like you mean ki B and C cannot be the answer because it's 36 and the reverse will be 63.
Yes, exactly what I wish to speak.
And that 41 is 14, so there's a big difference.
Yes, you are correct yet again. So clearly, without using my equations, I can get to the answer. And trust me, the 9900 percentilers used such tactics. They do not solve every question because they know how a question is being framed. See, while using any tricks, if you know how a question is being framed, you know that inside out, you can clearly use a tactic and eliminate the options. I'd given you a hint, substitute the options, and you literally started substituting the options wherein you could have eliminated the option, which I also taught. Well, I would consider this as a moderate to tough problem. So yeah, for beginners, that is okay. But anybody who has not understood the trick till now, how I eliminated option B and C as the value, not as the answer to the question, as the value that cannot satisfy the condition given in the question. Forget this part for now.
One doubt, Kesari. Now here reversing a number, now let's
Yeah.
consider 43.25. Now will it become 34.25 or
No.
552.34?
That see. What does he say here is, do you get this part?
Okay, right.
So the 2-digit number wala, so that decimal will already be eliminated.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, Uttam, what do you want me to repeat?
Yeah, the whole technique method. I didn't get it.
Sorry, which technique? I could not hear you.
The tactic, I mean the shortcut method for this without using the equations.
Okay. There's a pan A, there's a pan B. You got this part, 0.5 and 0.75. So if from pan A to pan B and then again from pan B to pan B, I bring it back, 0.25 is added and subtracted one time and one time.
Yes.
That will give me the difference of 0.5 that is mentioned here in the question. 9.5 wala 0.5 wahin se aayega, from that part. This part is clear? Hello, Uttam, am I audible? Okay, I think we lost track of him. Anybody else? Any issues? Because we'll be wrapping up.
Hi, Casey, can you repeat this part again, please?
Okay. Which part you want me? The entire process or just a small part?
You just told.
Sorry?
The part you just told, na, about 0.5. Where did that come from?
Okay. See, when you measure a weight, initially, A has 0.5 grams weight, 0.5 kg, and B has 0.75. So if I take 43.25 and measure it on A, what will it say me about the weight? It will tell me 43, right? Because it will reduce by 0.25. Now if I measure 43.25 on B instead of A, 0.25 is getting added to B pan. So 43.25 will give me a reading of 43.5. So the reading between A, which was 43, and the reading between B, that is 43.5. What is the difference between both of those? It is 0.5. This part is clear, Kunal? Hello? Is this part clear, Kunal? Okay, I don't see him. I think he left. All right, so I'll continue with this part. This part now should be clear to you guys. Now the only part left is 9 kg. When will I get a difference of 9 between any two digit numbers and its reverse? When there's a difference of 1 between units digit and tens digit. I mean 43 minus 34 is 9. 65 minus 56 is 9. So clearly my option for my options should have the difference of 1 and they should have 0.25 as the fraction part. Only option A satisfies that condition. And what is being asked as the final point in my final line? Which of the following cannot be the actual weight? A can be the actual weight and B on C cannot be the actual weight because it does not satisfy my criteria of 0.25 given in the fraction part and simultaneously a difference of 1 between the units and the tens part. So clearly B and C are wrong, and therefore since we are being asked which are the wrong options, there are two options which are wrong, but the D option says there are more than one, hence the options will be, the right answer would be D. This part is clear? Anybody, any doubt? I require response from everybody. Who is remaining?
Kesari, so basically the D option means more than one option from the above.
Yeah, more than one option from above.
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Initially I thought it's basically he's talking about the weight, more than one of the above.
I've got a response from Spandana, from Mandeep, Ashvik, Aniket. Anshula, I did not see your response.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, all right, great. So I guess using similar logic, you can solve this question, which will be our homework. The next question. This is quite easy. You don't have to figure out what are the fraction part. So this will be your homework, and the age wala ka second part would be your homework. And I'll be sharing the answers just a few hours before the lecture. So yes, Aditya, you can start doing the practice questions. The first worksheet that has been provided to you, it has some 20 odd questions. You should start it. And any doubts, you can put it on the group. All right, guys. So we'll stop for the day. And it was good interacting you. And it was great coming, logics coming from you guys. So hopefully we'll progress on a similar path. And yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kesari.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah.